7, if you want to change behaviors, try capturing hearts first. That's exactly what a group of oral surgeons did at an event to educate dentists and doctors about the opioid crisis. The goal was to cut the number of prescriptions they're writing. Target 8 investigator Susan Samples has been tracking the overdose epidemic and was at today's event.
Okay, let me run this by you really quick.
Tyler Trowbridge had planned on just winging his speech before 180 or so dentists and doctors.
To see that we're people too.
But nerves convinced him notes might help.
I'm nervous. It's a big deal.
Trowbridge was one of 2 special speakers for the educational event hosted at Meyer Garden by the Center for Oral Surgery in Grand Rapids.
Thank you for having me.
The 34-year-old is a recovering heroin addict.
103 days clean.
First profiled by Target 8 in February when he was begging, homeless, and on heroin.
My heart was broken.
Speaking to was Dr. Omar Abubakar, an oral surgeon and professor in Virginia, but also a grieving father.
This is the last picture we had together, 6 months before he passed away.
Abubakar talks to groups nationwide now about losing his son Adam to a heroin overdose in 2014. He urges dentists and doctors to be more careful, to cut back or even stop prescribing opioids for pain. For some people, it's a recipe for addiction.
Physicians were part of the problems. Physician and dentists were part of the problem. And they better come up and be part of the solution.
One solution promoted at the event, Exparel, a non-opioid long-acting anesthetic injected at the surgical site. It's what Dr. Mark Jessen used to relieve Tyler Trowbridge's pain when he extracted 6 of his teeth.
You good? Yeah, you good?
It's also in part why Trowbridge was asked to speak at the event.
So 103 days ago, I was homeless. I was living on the streets.
Now he's giving back, thanking the dentists who did his teeth for free.
So this is what I look like. Terrible, right? Like, if you can't, like, I spent like every conversation with my hand over my mouth.
Trowbridge hopes more dentists will find ways to help recovering addicts get their smiles back. Dr. Abubakar hopes they'll help prevent addiction at the front end by using alternatives to opioids in the first place. Does the dental community get it yet?
No, not yet, not yet. One at a time, one at a time.
Dentists at the event told me that they are already cutting back on opioid prescribing, in part because the government's forcing them, but also because they are finding that over-the-counter meds often work just as well. And of course, they're aware of the crisis as well and want to help. Meanwhile, Tyler Trowbridge and the oral surgeon who worked on his teeth are getting flown to D.C. next week to talk about Exparel, along with a friend she's going to, the friend that's helped Tyler so much, Stacy Peck. They're going to talk about Exparel in D.C., so we're going to be hearing a lot more about that, which is that non-opioid alternative pain reliever. So stay tuned. Exparel.
It really is a community effort here.
Yes, and it just continues. It keeps rolling. I mean, where is this all going to end up? I mean, it's just great.
We'll
it's
keep following
so great.
it.
Yep.
Susan, thank you.
Thanks.